Hello, everyone, and welcome back to End-to-End Tech Talk. I'm your host, Michael Oliverio, and today we're going to be covering Copilot for Microsoft PowerPoint. Okay, let's dive right into this. So in our previous video, we covered Microsoft Word. In Microsoft Word, when you came into a document and you click to type, you'd have a little Copilot icon. PowerPoint's not going to do that. PowerPoint's only going to have the Copilot that we've seen so far up in the top right corner. Now this presentation, I've already kind of created the background and I put our end-to-end logo on there. I created the master slides. If you want to have some of the branding done, go ahead and do that first. And then once you do that, you can start using Copilot to design it and build it out for you. So if we click on Copilot, first thing it's going to do is bring up our little right side menu. No different than you've seen in the other tools. Most tools or all the tools are going to look just like this right here. Some of the things we can do is say, create a presentation from file, or add a slide about. If we say create a presentation, it's going to pop a question in the bottom here that you can kind of finish it. You can say create a presentation on XYZ, ABC, whatever you're looking to do, it'll go ahead and generate one. You can say create a presentation from a file, which is what we're going to do today. So we used our protein file yesterday. We're going to stay with that one today. We're going to say create a presentation based on our file called How Much Protein Do You Need to Gain Muscle version 2. So let's start by doing that. We're going to say send and let it go ahead and get working. Okay, so once it's done, you're going to see it's going to give you a little bit of information. Here's an outline of the presentation. It'll list out what the outline is. After that, it's going to give you, I've drafted 11 slides and made some changes to your doc. So it'll tell you what the changes are. And until you can also use Designer for adjusting the layouts, which you can do that regardless. It also says it adds notes at the bottom here. So I haven't actually played with the notes a whole lot, but you're going to see it's got a little bit of information. So if you're somebody who likes to read from the notes, it'll be down here for each slide. And then you're also going to see it's not just pulling bullet points and pasting them down there. It's kind of wording it in a way that you speak and present it. It's also going to add some images in the background. And if you've got your master slides already configured, you're going to see each one of these is a little bit different of a slide, but it has our master slide configuration. It has our logo and has our background that we set up. Brought a table over, which no notes here, but you kind of get the point as to what this is going to look like. So a couple things you can do once a presentation is created. If you didn't have an agenda slide, which I believe this one already did have, you can easily say in the comments right here, create an agenda slide. You can say, tell me about dates and deadlines, or you can say something like organize in sections. You can have it try to reorganize your PowerPoint in sections. Okay, and once it's done, you can see something similar that you saw above. It's going to tell you group the slides into sections, and it added slides. So you can see coming back over here, slide 3. This is the protein section. You can expand and minimize now. And then additional information and subscribe is down here. So you can see it automatically created the section, regrouped them, created the slides, and then added a little bit of notes over here. So outside of that, they have the view prompts, just as you saw in Microsoft Word. Let's go ahead and expand that and see what else we can do. We can create, which we've already done from a file. We can create from scratch. We can add a slide if we want to. We can edit, so we can have it add more images. We can organize this presentation. So if we don't like the way it's laid out, you can ask it to organize it a little bit differently. You can also ask it to give me specific examples from this presentation on how I can improve it for leadership to review, for example. That's something that we also did in the Word video previously. And lastly, we have View More Prompts. And the View More Prompts will bring up this window again. So this window is going to give you a few more bits of information that you can do. Generate ideas, stay on track, show action items. So if this is a project meeting, that's a great one to use that for. You can extract key information to summarize this presentation. They'll give you a list here. And again, you can favorite these. You can even ask, how can Copilot help? So let's go and do that. Let's go over here and say, how can Copilot help. So as I did before, I kind of want to show this example. Copilot's smart enough to understand what you were trying to say. So I didn't spell Copilot right. I misspelled it, and it still was able to say, the response isn't based on the presentation. As Copilot and PowerPoint, I can help improve in many ways. So it'll give you suggestions. Again, you don't have to be perfect with the way you use Copilot. Just talk to it, type to it, write to it. If it's not understanding, ask it in a different way. You can say, organize the presentation, and you don't like the way it did it. So you can say, do it again, and it'll do it differently. It's just important that you kind of think outside the box a little bit when it comes to what you're trying to do, and really grasp just communicating to it. The more information you feed it, the better information it's going to give you back. One last tip here on the PowerPoint side. So Copilot's focused on building presentations here. If you're trying to write up specific verbiage for a presentation, feel free to open up Microsoft Word, type in there, ask in there, and then converting that over to here. Again, you don't have that Copilot icon like you did in Word, where it's going to allow you to have it type up things you're trying to do. So open Word and hit the little button in Word, type up what you're trying to do, and then convert it over to here and have it translate it into a presentation for you. Well, that concludes our tutorial today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. In our next one, we're going to be covering how Copilot can help you in Microsoft OneNote. Please subscribe if you like the content. And follow us for updates. Thank you and be safe.